How's it going, guys? This is CTC again, trying to show you guys how to install the preamp equalizer Kenwood. The serial number is KGC4042A. This is a little small preamps, Kenwoods, and we do have a Kenwood radio. So what we're trying to do is divide the voice with the subwoofer and everything, and have that extra gain on the voice and the power, the subwoofer. So we're gonna start by taking out the radio. You know, we have this is an aftermarket radio, and we have the little things to take them out. Little the removing tool, and we take it out. And try to take out the face so you won't scratch it. We have all these cables back here. We already have 2 amps, one for the bass and one for the voice. And so we have right here in the back, we have all our RCAs. I'm gonna disconnect the antenna, the radio antenna, and we have the rear, the front, and the subwoofer. Remember, this is the antenna, the one that I just took off, and you have all the harness right here. So what we're trying to do right here is trying to connect the power, the remote, and the ground on the preamp. So I put some extra wires for that. And hopefully we're gonna put it around an area that we could kind of we could be able to regulate it. So right now what we're gonna do is pass the wire, and we have this case that we put because remember it's an old car, so it has the old radio, but we decided to adapt the radio and an aftermarket radio with the Kenwood preamp and some 6x9, some woofers, so it has like a hole in the very back. So we need to pass these wires first. There we go. And one more. And of course we need an extra RCA. I want this gonna go from the radio to the preamp. We're gonna do that too. Just a tight space in the back. So the last thing we're gonna try to pass by is the extra RCA. Very uncomfortable. And here we go. We did it. So what we're gonna do is connect. We can do the connection on the RCA's towards the very last. I'm going to disconnect this harness. I'm going to connect the ground, the remote, and the power. I'm going to connect it to the harness from the stereo, from the aftermarket stereo, which is a Kenwood. And so we're gonna do this. This is the ground. And so if you look at the ones from the radio, you have the yellow one, which is constant power, and you have the switch power. So we're gonna connect it with the constant power, because of course we're gonna connect the remote with the like the switch, or the power control, the blue wire with the white line. That's the one that you connect for the amp. So we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna connect it. So remember, it has the same. I'm using the same color, red, both for the both cables, but you could actually use, if you have different kind of wires, you could use the yellow one, which is constant power, and use the blue one and white, which is the power antenna, or antenna control, or just for the amps. And of course the black one is the ground. So we're gonna do that. And so we're looking at the blue wire. The blue wire is here, and we're gonna connect it with the one from the preamp. It makes it a little bit easier if you have the same colors. But for this time, remember, this is not a shop. This is in the back of your garage, trying to save some money. So we have the little connectors. I usually buy this kind, the ones that look like this, and I connect everything. But usually the shops and everything have like the correct ones, the straight ones that you connect from one side to the other side. After that, we go to the constant power. So we'll look for the yellow cable. That's a constant power. Here we go. And remember, you got the one from the preamp. Sometimes, depending on your connections, you're gonna need those other kind of connectors. It's either small or little larger connectors that you could have a little better the other connectors that you could have a better grip to it, and it could hold more wires or less wires, or whatever you're trying to do. Of course, you need some pliers for that. Remember, this is the kind of pliers you need that you could use for different kind of connectors. Of course, you need a cutter, you know. So then the last one will be the ground. It's very important because then you get the noises going, and you don't want that. The motor noise, the engine noise. And then you're gonna have to buy some filters, and just make sure you're getting good ground. And so we're having problems connecting it with this connector because it's too small. You can see the difference. So let me see if I can find me a larger one. Go. So we have another kind of connector. You can see the difference. What I'm talking about is it's a little wider, and so we're just gonna connect it that way. Pretty easy because you already have all the cables and everything that go through the radio, from the radio to the amps. So the only difference right here is that you need an extra small RCA, maybe 3 feet, to connect from your radio to your preamp, and then of course from the preamp you're gonna connect to the RCAs coming from your amplifiers. Okay, so right here you have remember you have the rear, front, and subwoofer, right? So you're gonna connect it on the front. Connect it on the front. Connect your harness back. And so before you decide to put everything back, remember to turn it on and double check it, see if it works. Because if it doesn't turn on and everything, you're gonna have to take it back out again and do the whole thing again. So then you connect your preamp, and so you have right here EQ input, you have EQ front, and then you have EQ rear output, and then you have subwoofer output. So you have the EQ input, which you're gonna use the one from the radio to the preamp. Remember to use tape right here so they won't disconnect on you, and then you're like, oh, one side doesn't want to I can't listen to it because maybe it disconnected while you're driving or whatever. So you put a little tape around here, and I'll show you guys in a bit. So then remember, we put it on the front from the radio, the aftermarket radio, we put it on the front output for the RCAs, and we bring it and put it on the EQ input. After that, we look for the RCAs. We have 2 of them, one for the voice and one for the subwoofer. The subwoofer, we connect it and then we will connect the voice amp. We'll connect it with the front one. So then what we're gonna try to do is turn it on. See if it turns on. And we need to connect the radio so it could and here we go. We got the radio turned on. And we're gonna and it turned on. Perfect. Well, we don't have our antenna connected, so we're gonna try to connect the antenna so we could hear the sound. See if it's
Tostitos tortilla or cantina chips for $1.49 with card and digital coupon at Ralph's. Announcing the giant sale at Worthington Ford in Long Beach. Over 800 certified cars and trucks.
yeah, so we could listen to this. So now let's put on a radio station, maybe.
Fees are cost, partly at fault. You still.
This is the way you install the preamp equalizer. 2, 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 band with the subwoofer, and it has the EQ sub. This is the subwoofer ones, and then you have the fader right here on this other side, and this the ones that we use a lot. So then now that we could hear that everything is good, we turn it back off and put everything back like it was, like if nothing happened. And because of the little space right here on the back of the this little box that we had to buy, they sell them at the stereo shops. You see them in a lot of old cars. They don't want to mess up their regular radio, so to put an aftermarket radio, this is the best way to go. We have, and then we're gonna install the EQ somewhere around here. But there we go. We got a little frame thingy, and we're gonna install. Easy stuff. Put the radio back. So this this equalizer, we're gonna put it right here where you could have a little bit of control to it to change it. Maybe put it even down here. That would be pretty cool. But I have to throw it around here. And we'll find a spot for it. Well, that's basically it, guys. That's how you installed a preamp, a Kenwood preamp. And it's always good because you could divide your amplifiers, your voice, your subwoofer, and it gives it a little bit more power to it. So thank you guys for following us, and see you next time.